different network in or another for example network. Because of that, we need to send the traffic to the default gateway, and after that the default gateway can send traffic after routing in the router, where the traffic can receive by the PC3. Because of that, it is one of the most important functions in the PCs about the routing, that the PC should find the destination is residing in its networks or another networks. And also we need to configure everything correctly. If you configure something with mistake, for example subnet mask with mistake, you will experience many problems. Let me to give you one example. Assume that here first, don't forget, before talking about the problem, don't forget you should configure also the default gateway correctly. If you configure default gateway with mistake, you cannot send traffic to the outside of the network. For example, you are configuring the default gateway 10.1.1.2, but the IP address of the default gateway is 10.1.1.1. After that, we will have problem. Also, maybe you configure the default gateway in another network. Again, we cannot send the traffic to the outside of network. For inside of the network, we don't have any problem. Okay, let me to give you another example. Assume that in this scenario, instead of this IP address, we are configuring another IP address. The IP address that we are configuring is for example, let me to write here 10.1.1.1 or 10.1.1.10, okay, slash for example 28. If you configure this value, okay, the subnet mask with another value, we are, for example, experiencing some problem. Let me to talk about that. You know that slash 28 means 255, 255, 255, 240. Let me to write here. First, slash 26, as I mentioned before, equal to 255, 255, 255, then 192. But slash 28 is equal to 255, 255, 255, then 240. Okay, but let me to show you what is the difference between these two values. Assume that we configure 10.1.1.10 slash 28 in the PC1, and again we are using for example the same command ping 10.1.1.20, and now again the PC1 should compare the first 28 bits of its IP address with the destination, the IP 10.1.1.20. Okay, look at here. Let me to compare these two values with each other. Now we should compare the first 28 bits. As you can see, about the first 28 bits, okay, as you can see here, we have for example one not equal values. Look at here. Here the first 4 bits of the octet 4 are not equal with each other. Because of that, now the PC1 thinks that the PC2 is residing in the outside of its networks, and because of that we have problem. We will have problem. Why? Because the PC1 now trying to sending traffic to default gateway. Okay, you know that the PC1 and PC2 are residing in the same network, but with the incorrect subnet mask, you can, for example, send the traffic. You need to send traffic from PC1 to R1, and this is not correct and this is not efficient. Here we have problem. The PC1, instead of sending the traffic directly to PC2, now is trying to send traffic to router 1, and here we will have problem. Because of that, it is so important to configuring the IP address correctly, the subnet mask correctly, and also the default gateway correctly. If you configure one of these values incompatible, okay, you will have problem about the for example sending traffic to the inside of the network or outside of the network. Don't forget that all of the computers in one network should use the same network ID, and all of the computers are using they are working on different networks should use different network ID. Okay, and here we can see that using the, for example, different subnet mask can encounter us with some problems. You need to carefully design the IP addressing. I know that you are the master in, for example, IPv4 addressing fundamental, IPv4 addressing subnetting, and some other things that you have learned in the CCNA. It's okay. But don't forget, we have some complexities or some, for example, misunderstanding about the IP addressing in the mind of people, that they only study the books. Okay, you need to practically work with IP addressing. You need to try to understand for example, more detail the concept of subnetting and addressing. After that, after practicing, you will be a master in the IPv4 addressing. Okay, this is the first part of this video about IPv4 addressing. I will talk about the IP addressing again, but let me to show you these two conditions where when we are configuring correct IP address and subnet mask and default gateway, and when we don't configure the correct IP address or subnet mask or default gateway, this can give us one experience about the importance of the IP address assignment, subnet mask assignment, and also default gateway assignment. Okay, this is our scenario. In this scenario, we have PC1 and PC2. The IP addressing are correct. 10.1.1.10/26 with the default gateway of 10.1.1.1. And here in PC2, 10.1.1.20/26, and then the default gateway is 10.1.1.1. Okay. Also here we have the router 1. The ETH00 of the router 1 is configured before with the 10.1.1/26, and also the ETH01 configured before with the 192.0.2.1, okay, /24. Let me to show you how we can verify the status of the interface and also the IP addressing of the interface. With show IP interface brief, you can see the status of interface and also the IP address of the interface. But here we don't have the subnet mask. If you want to see the subnet mask, you should use show IP interface, then the name of interface, for example, ETH00. In the first line, as you can see, we have internet address is 10.1.1.1/26, and because of that, it's a good command for verifying the IP addressing and also a status and also subnet mask. Also, show IP interface, for example, ETH01 can show us the status and IP addressing and subnet mask of the ETH01, 192.168.0.2.1/26 or 24. It's not important. Let me to change it to the 24, because in this picture we can see this is 24. The mask is 24. Interface ETH01. IP address 192.0.2.1.255.255.255.0. After that, show IP interface ETH0, for example 1. Look at here, the IP address now is changed to the 192.0.2.1/24. That's it. Okay, now let me to show you how we can verify the IP addressing on one PC. Here we have PC1. This is the PC1. Here I'm using one Windows operating system, and this is the PC1. In Windows operating system, you can use ipconfig command for verifying finding the IP address, subnet mask, and also default gateway. ipconfig is the command that we can use. Here, as you can see, the IPv4 address is 10.1.1.10, as you can see here, and the mask is 255.255.255.192, and the default gateway is 10.1.1.1. It's okay. Look at here. Let me to show you. The IP address is correct, and the subnet mask is correct, and the default gateway is correct, and finally, for example, we can say everything is correct. Let me to show you the status of PC2. This is the PC2. Okay. First, IP config. Look at here. The IP address is 10.1.1.20. The mask is 255.255.255.192, and the default gateway address is 10.1.1.1. Everything is okay. And after that, let me to show you the status of PC3. This is the PC3, okay? With IP config, we can understand that the IP address of this PC is 192.0.2.10, and then the mask is 255.255.255.0, and the default gateway is 192.0.2.1. Because of that, we expect to have connectivity between the PC1 and PC2, and also PC1 and PC3. Let me to show you. This is the PC1. First, I'm trying to send traffic to the PC2, 10.1.1, then 20. Look at here. As you can see, we have connectivity without any problem. Also, we have connectivity to the default gateway to 10.1.1.1. Okay. Now we can try to send traffic to the outside of the network, for example, to the PC3 with the ping command, then 192.0.